Experience action. Let's stop just talking about customer experience, employee experience, and the experience of leaders. Let's turn ideas into action. Your host, Jeannie Walters, is an award-winning customer experience expert, international keynote speaker, and founder of Experience Investigators, a strategic consulting firm helping companies increase sales and customer retention through elevated customer experiences. Ready, set, action.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, everybody, it's time to get serious. We've got a really big question today, and I'm going to do my best, so hang in there with me. Let's listen up for the question.
Hi, Jeannie. Thank you for taking my question. Our organization has talked a lot about, customer experience, and we always say that, the customer comes first. And I think we're wanting to get more intentional, more serious about it, I guess, if you will. We're just not really sure where to get started. Do we need to hire someone who is just focused on this and can kind of help lead our organization in building customer experience initiatives and activities? Or, is there a way for us to do this a little more organically with the team that we have? So just wondering, on the people side of this, how do we get started? Once we start to get people aligned with this, where do we begin? How do we make this something that is impactful for our business?
Oh my goodness, where to start? This is quite the question. I love how the caller actually asked about this in a way that is framed in the context of, hey, do we need to bring somebody in from the outside? Can we do this in a more organic way with the team we have? What do we do with the people? Where do we start? How do we begin? These are great questions, because if you're not asking these questions, then you're probably just coasting.
Please don't do that.
And the fact that they're asking about this to be more intentional and proactive about customer experience, you know what? It warms my heart.
Oh, that's nice.
So as we attack this, I want you to think about where you are with your organization. Are you being as intentional and proactive as you could be around customer experience strategy, around leading customer experience? And if not, what's stopping you? Just start thinking about that as we walk through some of the ways that we can address this.
Let's go.
So if you're thinking about your own organization's customer experience success and being, as our listener asked, how to be more serious and intentional about it instead of just talking about it, ask yourself a few things. Number one, what would ideal customer experience look like for your organization? Do you already know? Do you have some ideas, but maybe not all of them? Do you not know? Do you need more research? If you're not quite sure where you're going, it's a good idea to just think big. Think about where you could go if the customer experience got better, if you were able to measure things better, if you were able to react to the changes that customers are asking for. If you could do all of that better, and if you had that magic wand with that ideal customer experience, what would that do for your organization? Would that lead to more revenue? Spoiler alert, yes. Because when we do this well, a few things happen. One is customers stay with us longer and they spend more money with us. Number two, we get more referrals, not only from customers, but also from employees. And number three, we don't have to work so hard on sales.
Yes.
Now, most of us have been taught that we have to constantly focus on customer acquisition. Yet when we do this well, when we have more retention, when we have happier customers who stay longer, spend more money, refer other customers to us, then we don't have to work as hard as we would on acquiring new customers, because the customers we already have are not walking out the door. So I bring this up because as you're defining maybe the role of the leader for the first time, you want to think about these things. You need to build that business case. So if you're not sure where to start with your organization, if you're not sure if you should hire a leader from the outside or grow a leader from inside your organization, I would ask you first to be intentional about the strategy that you're asking them to lead. Now, I'm not saying you have to define all the strategic ideas for them. But I'm saying you have to give them some direction. What are you asking them to do? I see so many customer experience job descriptions that are pretty terrible.
Ugh, yuck.
They often are looking for a team and expecting one person to do the job. That's just not fair. So when we approach this, make sure that you have an idea of what are you actually asking them to do in this role. It can't just be things like lead CX to be the best in the industry. That is not a strategy. That is a wish and a hope. But what we want to do is ask them to do something. So if you are starting from scratch, if you really have just been talking about it, I would define this role first by saying, we want you to define success for our customer experience strategy and come up with a plan or roadmap with how to achieve that success. Now, there are a couple things in between the lines there. One is you're not asking them to be the team. You're not saying it's your job to define the strategy, execute the strategy, make sure that you're measuring success of the strategy, evolving the strategy, and handling all the tactics underneath it. What you're saying is, we're going to bring you in to help put this together, define success, and guide us to what we need to do next. And that can be building a team. So that's one thing, is get the idea of who you want and what you're asking them to do first. Be really intentional about that. If you have people within your organization that you think would be good at this, who are already that ideal person who really leads with intention around customer experience anyway, I call these the CX change agents among us. There usually are people who are getting it. They just don't know what steps to take. They are great people to include in the evolution of that customer experience team. I will say that it takes a rare type to actually lead if they don't have the right tools, if they don't have the right background and experience. I have seen this work, but it's harder, frankly. And sometimes we need that outside perspective. So be realistic about where you are and what you're looking for. And then that will help you decide, can we do this with somebody from the inside, or should we bring in that outside leader who has the experience that will help move us forward faster? And then I also want you to think about, how will you gain cross-functional support for this role? Now, if you're just starting with customer experience, and as I'm talking about hiring a leader, you start thinking, whoa, we're not ready for that. We're not ready to bring in a leader with a customer experience title. We're just trying to do something around this that's a little more intentional. Then I want you to think about how you can align your teams and leaders starting today. And some of that comes with communication. If you can do nothing else, start a cadence of communication, consistent communication that reinforces the importance of customer experience and provides reassurance and reminders and recognition to the entire organization. You want to make sure that you're communicating specific messages around what's working, what's not, why you want to invest in certain places, what those rewards will be if you actually prioritize the right efforts in customer experience work. Because the more you repeat those messages intentionally and consistently, you're going to reinforce the importance of customer experience and start gaining that buy-in in a very organic way.
Nice.
By providing regular updates on what's working and what's not in your customer journey, you're building awareness that this is something that everybody has to work on. So as you bring in that leader, eventually, you'll have some of that cross-functional buy-in. You'll have some of that awareness and understanding. And then I would also say, look to how can you empower your employees? How can you align the employee experience with the customer experience? Because you want to create that positive cycle where happier customers lead to happier employees, and happier employees lead to happier customers. And all of that leads to higher retention rates and reduced hiring costs and higher revenue for everybody.
Yay!
So those are some general places to start. But what I will tell you is that if you're thinking this way, you're already ahead. So don't lose momentum just because Maybe a leader says, I'm not going to do this right now. We're not going to invest in a leader, in getting a customer experience leader. That's okay. Don't lose sight of what you're trying to do. Be that CX change agent and do what you can to move forward with wherever you are in the organization. Now, as many of you know, we have tons of resources to help you with some of those foundational tools. Getting a customer experience mission statement, getting a success statement together, that can help you build that business case and help you prepare either to step in and be that leader or to help prepare the leader when they step into that role. I encourage you to check those out because that helps everybody, again, get on the same page about what we're trying to do. So before you decide on a leader, decide what you're trying to do, what you want that leader to do, and what the outcomes will be. And then everything else gets easier, I promise. So keep doing what you're doing. All of you CX change agents out there, check out all the resources we have for you at experienceinvestigators.com and keep these questions coming. We love hearing from you. Let me know at speakpipe.com/experienceaction. Until next time, keep changing the world. Talk to you later. To learn more about our strategic approach to experience, check out free resources at experienceinvestigators.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, our Year of CX program, and more. And please follow me, Jeannie Walters, on LinkedIn.